Hi everybody, my name is Bill, and I'm going to be talking to you. The first indicator I'm going to be talking to you about here is the volume splitter 3, which is this indicator on our screen here. It is an indicator that we use for money management, for stops, for profit targets, for confirmation of the trend. We use it for all of those things. And let me explain to you how it really works. Actually, I'll leave it up here, but let me spread this chart out. We're looking at the TF here. And let me just look for an area, a nice area here. Here we go. We have a nice uptrend here in the TF, okay? But let's just zoom in and look at what all these numbers mean. So what we do is on a bar per bar basis, we split the volume out to small traders, to medium traders, to large traders, and then we add the total together. Okay, so you can see on this up bar right here that, and let me just get my crosshair going here because that's important. So you can see on this up bar right here that 28 blocks of small traders went long. The medium traders, which represent traders between 5 and 10 contracts, went short. And the large traders, they didn't do anything. So the net delta of this bar is 22. Now, this type of analytics is called a lot of different things. I've seen it called volume delta, volume spread analysis, volume footprint, volume this, volume that. There's 19 different names for this. We call it delta volume. And again, is what we use for money management. So, for example, let's say we got a long signal here on this bar. Let's just say we got a long signal here. This white line is what we use for money management. And this white line is derived from the delta of each bar. And you can see during this nice up move here that the contracts were climbing 22, 50, 45, 222 contracts went long. 76 contracts went long, 54 contracts went long, 76 contracts went long. But so we look at all of that stuff. And we want to exit when the contracts start to get reduced in a little bit of volume here. So you see this white line is hooked down here. That's when we want to exit. We want to exit the trade. If this line is not going in our direction, we want to exit the trade. So if I am long, this is the indicator that I use to stay long. And I will stay long as the thing is pointing up. I will stay short as long as the thing is pointing down. So in this case here, I was short, and I would have gotten out here on this bar. So in this case, if I was short somewhere in here, yes, maybe it moved a little bit in my direction, but it didn't really move too much. And actually, I probably would have broken even if I would have gotten out on that bar. But this is the indicator that we use here at EOTPRO currently right now for money management. It's really, really good. It's cool because the volume delta are the real-time numbers that are happening right now. You can see where the contracts are piling on. You can see if most of the contracts are short or they're long. It kind of gives you a little bit of confidence. Maybe if you are short through here, not only is the white line pointing down, but you can also look at these numbers and say, oh, the small traders, they're short. The medium traders, oh, they're short, but the large traders, they're not. Now, in the olden days, it is worth noting that in the olden days, that the small traders used to be the dumb money. And we used to want to follow the large traders. That's no longer the case. The small traders actually, the large traders are actually breaking up their orders now to make them small. So they're hiding themselves. So as it turns out, the small traders are now the smart traders. The small traders are now the smart ones. And because they're using iceberg orders mainly to hide themselves. And iceberg orders are orders that only show small executions, even though there may be big size behind them. So to recap one more time, this is the indicator that we use for money management. And if it's pointing in our direction, we stay in the trade. And if it hooks against us, we get out. And we also use this for trade confirmation. We want to make sure that the entry signals that we use line up with this indicator. It only makes sense to be trading in the direction of the volume delta, or the volume spread analysis, or the delta volume, or the whatever you want to call this thing. It only makes sense to trade in that direction. So we use this as confirmation for our entries which use more sophisticated technology. So that oh yeah, you can also, let me just show you some of the inputs here. We have full history on this indicator. We have full history on this indicator from our server on all of these instruments: 6A, 6B, 6C, 6E, 6J, CL, DX, ESF, not FDAX and FESX, GCNQ, SITF, YM, ZB, ZF, ZN. So there's quite a diversified instrument list there. We record all of this data to our server so that you can go back and look at it in history. And as all you can actually take the delta from ES if you want and overlay it on TF, for example, if you wanted to. Let's just do that as a little experiment. So now we can see the pressure that was happening on ES on top of a TF chart, if that's what you wanted to do to it. You can see here that there was a lot of people buying on ES, and then maybe TF popped up a little bit. A lot of people buying here on ES, TF popped up. So it's pretty cool. You can mix and match, and you can do all sorts of things. Another thing that you can do is some people don't want to see the delta numbers, and they just only care about the white line. You can just turn it to delta line only, turn it back to TF, which is what we're looking at now, and hit OK. And it hides all of the numbers from the delta volume numbers, and now you have just the white line to make sure that you're trading in the direction. Now it's pretty quick to turn. You can see that it's very, very fast to turn. Gives you great entries and exits. We always just want to trade in the direction of this line. And you can see the direction of this line is very, very good. Look how early it turned here before this moved down. Volume can definitely be a leading indicator of moves. It can definitely show you how volume can be very, very leading and can really show you the way. And that's why we use this thing as money management, because when this thing starts to hook down, the party is usually over to the upside. Since it's based on what's happening inside each candle, if this is going against us, we want out. Very, 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 very simple. Very, very, very straightforward, and great for trade confirmation if you're using other types of entries. Again, coming from our server at the CME data center. That's the Volume Splitter 3 from EOT.